What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me, as always, is little brother Jayce. We had lots of turkey, although not together this Thanksgiving. How's everything on your end?
Doing good. Still need to get rid of the holiday pounds, but I'm all right. I'm good.
Yes, I got sick, so I got rid of them a different way.
I'm
Yeah,
good. No bueno.
not so good. But so far, The Flash has not made me question why I'm watching the show. I'm happy about that. Armageddon has definitely felt like a major, serious bait and switch. We're going to put all these heroes together. Well, actually, they're just going to be on one episode at a time. And Flash is going to interact with them for about 20% of that episode. The rest of it's going to feel like a Flash episode, and you should be happy with that. And so far, we've had Adam show up the first episode. That was great. I feel like Brandon Roth needs to be in something. Preferably not Legends, because Legends is basically unrecognizable at this point. And episode 2 of this crossover had Super Alex, but she was just on a video screen, so she really got shafted on the cameo episode. Then episode 3, we got the guy who I was very much looking forward to see as a part of this, Black Lightning. So this third episode that came on, I feel like the writers still have no clue what they're doing with Despero. He's either a super bad villain who's killing or doesn't care about killing, or he wants to preserve the honor of his people and save the world before Flash ruins everything.
Uh, Maybe. I guess that's the best answer I got. Um, I was glad. I mean, I don't actually think it was so much a bait and switch because how the third episode went, they had all of the characters. I mean, all the people who were supposed to be in the crossover show up, and then they're kind of going to expand their role as it goes on in episode 4 and 5. And they also made it so I don't know if you watched the last season of Black Lightning, but I think that was more of Cress Williams than I saw in a whole episode of Black Lightning last year. So I was cool with that. I mean, I thought it was a Thunder and Lightning show, but I mean, they obviously like, oh yeah, he's the actual star, supposedly star of the show.
We named
Cool.
the show after him. I guess we should pop up every so often. I was really
Other show.
happy to see him because he's really good. And I feel like this was the first time we've seen them actually make use of characters whose shows are being canceled and bring them into the fold. It was really cool just seeing him in his outfit. And then, we'll save the whole Black Lightning Flash arc for the end because that was definitely the best part. But I think they did some really interesting things. We're having Cecile and Irish clash about Joe's maybe not so death. And I really, really want to get sucked into the drama because I felt like Danielle Nicolette and Candace Patton really acted that scene so strongly. It was like, oh man, it's great, it's emotional. But I'm like, you guys would never kill off a character as important as Joe and be like, oh yeah, that happened 6 months ago. I'm like, eh. And
But
then
that's like a really kind of comic book thing to do. Like if a new writer picks up and then you see like kind of, oh okay, what happened, and then we tell the story. Even it's like we don't know if it could happen, especially as a character as big as Joe for the show. You're like, I mean, he was out of the season last year, and they kind of are losing original cast members. So maybe they do a storyline to kind of write off Joe, kind of as a homage, but we don't think so. So we're kind of like trepidatious. Like, will they? But
they could do that if this was season 3 or 4 of The Flash, where they haven't had so much of a foundation laid on how they kill off characters. This is season 8, and we know they could not do something like that without a twist or ha, I got you. And I feel like they're really being committed to the ha, we got you. And I think longtime Flash viewers are like, yeah, Joe's not dead, so let's get to the point of that. But I'm playing along with them because it's like, okay, at least you're not doing something that's just so insultingly stupid. Like how everything's playing out is competent enough that I'm willing to go along with it, even though I have no suspense that Joe's actually dead.
yeah, but I mean, honestly, you get that scene between Iris and Cecile. like them actually at odds with each other. That was actually really good. So it's like you bought into it for the story. It was like, yeah, your mind is telling you Joe's not dead, but like at least the actors are performing it like he's dead. So it's like, all right. And that was what actually really got for me. I was like, okay, cool. Like y'all brought it on that scene. Like, good job.
Yeah. Now, so we get them split up. Allegra goes with Iris, and that makes sense. And then the C Squad of Chester, Cecile, and Caitlin. I was like, what is this? And then he's like, oh, you want me to do Cerebro? I'm like, stop it. Stop it. You guys have things in your own universe. Reference them, not the Marvel stuff. That would be like, AEW always mentioned in WWE. Or maybe it's the other way around because AEW is better than WWE. So it'd be like WWE always referencing AEW.
I mean, like, wouldn't you say, like, that's like, you want me to pull an Oracle? I mean, that would have been the easier way to go.
Absolutely. I mean, there's things in the DC universe that would actually work and make sense. Who do you think I'm?
You want me to be Brother Eye? Like, kind of throwing out, like, you might even want Brother Eye's, like, season 10 Flash, like, just in case.
You want me to pull a Mr. Terrific?
Whoa, Jeff, come on.
Sorry.
I did.
I deliberately didn't say Felicity. I don't know if you caught that. Okay.
Yeah.
So Chester's big idea was to find this powered up gadget, but first Cecile has to recruit the Top. And I feel like the actress playing the Top thought she was in a totally different thing. Like, I was really confused with her performance. And I was watching the show with my wife on the couch right next to me. And I swear the scene when they were strapped up to that device, hooked up to their necks, that if she walked in, I was going to have a really I don't know, look at my face. Like, just look at the screen. Honest. It's all on board. But yeah, this is a bad sound. So yeah. It was really bad. I wish someone at creative control over there was like, maybe we should do this a different way.
I'm thinking a lot of that was in that part was like, anyone want to say anything? Just let it ride. We're okay. No one will say anything.
Give up your emotions, Cecile. Do it. Oh. I'm like, hey guys. Don't mind me. Just here to potentially raise a question that this
quality control. Hello.
Yeah, but it was.
Where are we?
It was funny, but also the Chester part where his grandma's TV had rabbit ears, and it was funny. The line, "What's that? Are those rabbit ears?" And then he was like, "Yeah, my grandma needs to get home at 7 to watch her soaps," and I'm like, "What? What?
No soaps on at 7.
There's no soaps on at 7. Also."
You can't use rabbit ears on any TV, and you are supposed to be so smart. You can do all this without rabbit ears. So why are there rabbit ears in 2020? And none of these people are actually old enough to actually know what rabbit ears are. They're supposed to be in their 20s, 30s. They've never seen rabbit ears.
They should not. I thought that was really... That was just a comical scene on so many levels. But the soap operas at 7 was what really got me. Because we watched soap operas with our grandma. And there was nothing at 7. It was Wheel of Fortune time and Jeopardy.
I mean, you get at 7 o'clock, you get the TV or soap network version of soap operas. And you don't have those on rabbit ears. So
yeah. It was weird. It's like, are rabbit ears really the best way to channel anything? I mean, I kind of feel like they were barely able to get in stations, regular networks, and this is the way to channel to see where Flash is. And why didn't anybody just go, hey, maybe he's at the Hall of Justice?
I mean, that would have been the second place to go. He's not at Star Labs, so he actually owns that place, which should have technically been a place that the whatever reason he was under suspicion should have gone and seized already because he's the owner of that place. But
we'll just ignore that part because we never really established where the Hall of Justice is. So that's fine. Let me go back here with Iris first before we go on to the cool part. So Iris and Allegra are investigating this train accident where it looks like some video footage has been deleted very sloppily, and I thought this storyline was interesting, although 6 months later, I feel like Iris would have watched this at some point before 6 months.
I actually disagree because it's like you don't want to see. I mean, like especially that kind of tragedy. It's like your dad getting run over by a train. I don't think I want to see that. I mean, like I'll be like, if it happened, I'll believe it. Like I'm not. I don't need to investigate unless somebody tells me, hey, something shady may have happened.
I thought Kramer did say that.
No, Kramer was like, man, we're good. Move it on. Flash her under
That's how
arrest.
she got the flash drive, right?
I wasn't paying that much attention to
Oh,
Kramer,
okay.
honestly.
I mean, Kramer would have been like, "Hey, something's up." I don't know. I'm giving her a pass because there are things that's like, but it's okay enough that I'm not like nitpicking everything like I would like last season. So Iris is starting to see some energy trails. Allegra can't see it, but through the magic of Allegra's superpower, she's like, "Hey, look, there's a camera, and I bet it was recording."
See, it sounds like you're nitpicking. You're not supposed to be nitpicking, but it sounds like you're nitpicking.
It does.
Because I'm pretty sure your review doesn't say you're nitpicking like this, but you're nitpicking.
That was just funny because I always feel like they try so hard to give Allegra something to do, and it's just like,
hey man, she had flashing eyes, and you know,
I just wanted her to see the audio. I mean, the video trail of the stuff going. I mean, that would have been useful. Her seeing, hey, look, there's a camera. Iris is like, yeah, dude, my eyes work too. I see that little orb.
It's right there.
It's right there.
I mean, honestly, I thought as Allegra leveled up, I mean, she would have figured out everything.
Hey, listen, I did a level up count last night, 0. I was so proud of them. I was like, yes, you guys managed to do it. I think somebody at the writing room lost a bet. Can we write a script without saying leveled up? I did it.
Especially with Flash, I'm like, come on, you know you want to say level up. Come on, do it. It's a shot bet. Come on.
No, man, when Cecile and the top were talking, I was like, here it is. Here it comes. Cecile, your powers have improved so much.
Come on, do it.
Yeah, no, they held out. So we didn't get that. And Despero was wild. He was on the loose. And the third eye is just like, and I really thought that if the top was a dude, Despero would have killed the top. Especially when Top was like, hey, big boy, I will give you the information where Flash is and we can go kill him together. And then Cecile and everybody's like, oh no, she's almost dead. Let's help her. Maybe not.
Again, we've killed enough rogues, so probably don't need to, man or woman. I think that was probably more of what it was. And you know, maybe again at the end of the season we'll come up with a new rogues of all the leftovers and you know, make something.
Maybe they'll come up with dude versions of the rogues. So now we figured out Iris hollered at her son, the Still Force, Dion, to tap in and see what's going on with the Temporal Force. I actually like this because it actually tied into something where a character like Dion would make sense. And, you know, they didn't bring in everybody just to be like, hey, here's the whole rest of the game. But that was a good use. I'm not going to revisit this season just for that foolishness, but I like that they brought him back in a time that made a lot of sense. So then she sees that there was some evidence that somebody had messed with the timeline, screwed things up. We know it's not Barry. And so I'm like, okay. And we'll get to it, my reason why I was kind of hesitant about this, even though it made perfect sense. So Barry goes to Black Lightning and throws out the buzzword injustice. And I'm like, oh, okay. And this is, in case somebody goes haywire, somebody goes out of control, one member takes the other out. And Black Lightning is Flash's responsibility. They name drop Kara, Sarah, and John as the ones that came up with this injustice plan. They didn't mention Clark, but you see here in the picture, his Superman S is still in the chair, which means either somebody forgot to take it out or he is really still part of this Justice League, even though we're never going to see him again. And they didn't mention Batwoman, which was fine because she has no powers, so anybody could take her out. And it casually fixes the continuity issue of Batwoman being Kate Kane when they formed this. I personally was very excited when they mentioned, oh yeah, we came up with this injustice plan when we tangled with Faust. I'm like, Man, you know what I would pay to see on HBO Max? These guys, when all their shows get canceled, doing a straight up Justice League show. Because we had the jokey, haha, we don't care about Time Stream Legends team. But man, I would love to see Superman, even Supergirl, Martian Manhunter, Black Lightning, Flash, some Arrow or some other teaming up doing the thing 2049. I'd much rather see him than Mia because this way we don't have to worry about pesky Mia continuity issues. Even though they seem like they fixed it. But I love the whole exchange with Barry and Jefferson, and those two match up really well. We saw that in the Crisis crossover, how well suited they are as a team. And Barry's going frantic. He's going wild. I can't figure out what's going on. They start fighting because superheroes always have to fight when they're teaming up. And Black Lightning was like, dude, what are you doing? Trying to throw lightning bolts at me? I was like, yes, that was great. So he caught it, threw it back. That was cool. And then Barry suckered him into taking him around the room really fast. They knock over the Green Arrow trophy case, and that snaps Barry out of it. That was really well done because we hadn't seen anything like that before. And they haven't done the whole pulling on the heartstrings of Barry with Oliver too much. So it wasn't this case of, oh boy, they're going back to this well. It was like, oh man, it really had meaning. Then Jefferson showed that he could relate as well with Henderson. So that was good stuff. And then Despero comes out, I don't care about your troops, I'm killing you. And then Black Lightning's like, dude, you have a third eye. That was awesome. Despero is so lame because he can stop by the smallest things, and he just zaps him in the third eye, and he's just stuck for so long. Dion and Iris come through. Hey Barry, there's actually something going on in Time Stream. Go to the future and figure out what's happening. What do you think about this whole deal with Black Lightning?
Hey, I mean, I said this like even after watching Black Lightning's last season, it was like he was not utilized in his own show, and then he comes in for basically 5 minutes to 10 minutes of Flash, and you're like, damn, I really wish they had actually made a show about this dude. I mean, he had some, actual stuff to do. I mean, I was expecting, after he got there, but Thunder and Lightning be like, hey, calm down, Dad, we got this one. It was like, okay, this dude actually should be on the Justice League versus his daughters who took over, whatever city I forgot he was from.
Freeland.
Yeah, okay. Canceled city, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, it once again showed you like he's a good character to keep around, and even if y'all want to have like more shows with him actually in there helping out Flash, okay with that too.
And they really could make a Justice League show, paired up with Flash, where he doesn't have to be a main member. There's enough cast off members from other shows that they could easily do it. They could do Martian Manhunter, Supergirl, Black Lightning, Vixen, Atom. Who else would be cool?
Well, let me say this.
Mr. Terrific.
If you watch the last season of Supergirl, which I know you're smart enough not to do, you can see why they don't want to do that. But also you could do it as like not having the super bad budget of Supergirl, but actually having it so it's actually a fun show. And Martian Manhunter does his I sit in the watchtower kind of deal, and Flash, and and take out some of the Allegra Zyrtec, and just have them actually be this Team Citizen class, and kind of run it how you remember the Batman animated show where the last seasons it went from just straight Batman, and then it went to a Justice League show. I think they could probably do that once they know they're like, all right, season 10 is going to be our last season of Flash. Let's do a Justice League, wrap it up.
I feel like they really could just do a whole different, like put it on HBO Max because they need more DC shows, and give it like a Stargirl Titans budget, and they'd be fine. There's so many of those really good CW stars. They could put Spartan on the team. There's enough that they could have like a rotating cast of Justice League members, and it would be just fine. So I really want to see that because it's good enough, and I think it would be a lot of fun to see.